Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be a 2 versus 2 on Scorched Haven, and it will be between haCkProTech, the red Terran player, and his teammate is going to be Lynn, the blue Terran, and their opponents will be haCkUte, the purple Zerg, and NrTRuSH, the teal Zerg. It should be noted that this hack clan originally started by ProTech, which apparently Ute is a member of. I think ProTech handed it over to somebody else and left it, but he still has this account with this haCkProTech name. So that being said, I actually had the pleasure of playing a bunch of 2v2 games last night with ProTech on his channel, and it was definitely fun. It was very, very fun. It's awesome playing with somebody as good as ProTech, so he made me look good, and I had a blast. And I did save a couple of games from that, so maybe sooner or later I will cast one of them. But this game is actually a game that I watched him play live on his stream, which if you guys have never seen before, you should go to. It's twitch.tv/ProTech. And he plays 2v2 master games like all day. He plays randoms and a range team. And oh, getting an SCV kill there is the drone. Nice move there from Ute. I don't know how long this drone will last, but anyway, to finish that thought, I hang out on that channel all the time, so you guys should definitely check it out and come shoot the breeze with me. And anyway, I will post a link to that channel in the description of this game. And so this is a game that I watched him play live, and it was a while ago. So he sent me the replay because I know this game was so good, but I don't really remember what happened anymore because it's been so long. So I'm looking forward to casting it. As you can see, the engineering bay from Lynn being built only a quarter of the way here to delay the expansion, but there is but Ute did go pool first, so that should be no big deal. And actually Rush is going to get his hatchery down, so that engineering bay not going to do a whole lot there. Not a whole lot of delaying action going on. And what else do we have going on over Nya? We do have, okay, this is an interesting opening, because the spawning pool is already finished. He's at 18, and now the hatchery is going down. So maybe sort of a defensive spawning pool in case there is a marine rush or something. That Rush would be able to defend it, and then when he realized that it's not going to happen, went ahead and got the hatchery. And now ProTech is finishing his factory and going to do the reactor swap here. There will be Hellions on the way. And meanwhile, it looks like Lynn also getting a factory, and a Reaper is on the way out. Is there one already on the field? No, so it is kind of a late Reaper. I'm not a Terran player myself, but that seems like a pretty late Reaper, especially since there's a factory going down. So yeah, maybe just, okay, canceling the Reaper and switching it to Marauders. Interesting. As two Zerglings showing up at the front door will meet these Hellions and die. Rush going to run his Zergling as far out of the way as possible to delay these incoming Hellions, but he knows they're on the way now. The Spinecrawler is going down at the natural. And we do have a Spinecrawler going down for Ute inside his main, and going to be putting some roaches on the ramp to prevent any sort of run by here. And with only two Hellions out, I don't know how much damage ProTech will be able to do here. But working these Hellions, man, requires some serious APM, I'm telling you guys. As every time that I mess around with Hellions on Terran, I fail miserably. As soon as I look away back to my base to do something, I to look back and my Hellions are just dead. So anyway, that takes practice. But we do have an Evo chamber now on the way for NrTRuSH, and the Evo chamber for Ute has finished. This actually was a spore crawler, so excuse me. He didn't go for the spine crawler, he just used the roaches to block the ramp there. Not that ProTech was going up there. The hatchery is now going down. It looks like we are going to have a command center going down for Lynn. And we do have Banshees on the way for ProTech. As you all know, Banshees a pretty standard follow-up to the Hellion opener. And so preemptively, there will be Spore Crawlers going down for Rush and for, who is it again? Ute. That's right. And one Hellion could have got surrounded there, but these Zerglings evacuated before that was going to happen. And okay, we do have one Banshee out in the base already, and could it take out this Queen? One more shot! And oh no, ProTech! Look at that juke move from Ute. That was pretty sick, I must say. Pulling it back, and the Spore Crawler actually got the Banshee. I think he could have taken out that Queen if he had just decided to sack the Banshee, but he thought he might be able to save it. Nope, not gonna happen. And yeah, this Hellion Banshee opener for Terran, that takes some APM, man. It takes some serious APM to do well. And now a Siege Tech on the way for ProTech. And another factory being built up at the front. So I think we are in, let's see, the barracks way over in this corner just to get some vision, I guess. And ProTech working on his command center that is about to finish, and we're probably going to see some SCV transfer down there. No orbital command yet out of this command center for Lin. Meanwhile, we do have a Spire on the way for Ute. And a very, very good play, a standard play against Terran, or double Terran even, to get that Spire, use the Mutalisk to force Marines running all over their own base, and make them put missile turrets up everywhere. Always a good plan. Force them to use Stim to chase you around. And we have double starports here. What is the deal with Lin? Okay, he's got a cloaked Banshee up here at the front, and there's so many Spore Crawlers over the place, so he's just going to go ahead and take out this Fine Caller. No, this Banshee is going to die. Not before it can kill this Queen. This Queen is just straight balling. Or is that a different Queen? I think that may be the same Queen. And the Spore Crawler got the kill. I figured it out. And so, a bit unorthodox opener for the Terran players, I do say, with both of them going mech into Banshee. Not your normal opener, so I would expect to see one of them transition into Bio, as there are two barracks coming out for Lin now. And are there any more factories for ProTech? It doesn't look like it, not yet. So not real sure what he's going to be going just yet. Mutas are now out, and there are 8 Mutas. And they are starting to make their way across the map. We have some high-sec auto-tracking on the way for ProTech. So he is getting the upgrade for the missile turrets. That is not something you see very often. He's trying to throw down 2 missile turrets here, but they will not finish in time. Mutalisk going to just barely pick off those SCVs, but there is 1 missile turret over here, and now the Mutalisks are targeting it down. This tech lab, the factory is going to float away. And now there is 1 missile turret, 2 missile turrets in the mineral line, so it looks like the mineral line should be fairly well defended here. And now it's sending SCVs back out to finish up these missile turrets. That will help quite a bit. And Muta's just going to continue to harass here, taking out this supply depot. At the same time, Rush, we see Rush going for Banelings now, getting a lot of Banelings. And still no third base being taken by the Zerg players. I'm surprised underneath these Mutalisks, not trying to get another expansion yet. And going to take out the tech lab that was researching, what was that researching? That must have been researching like a Seeker missile or something. I'm not sure, I did not see that, sorry about that you guys. I assumed that it was Cloak, and then I realized that Lin already had Cloak. It must have been a Seeker missile research. I was actually throwing down a point defense drone here as Lin, so he has 2 Ravens. Definitely unorthodox here. It looks like we're seeing some Raven into Bio play here, as now medevacs are on the way. Yes, Seeker missile is being researched. And so that could lead to some serious excitement, as Seeker missiles, not as cool as nukes, but they're pretty cool, as now we have building armor being researched for ProTech. That, again, not something you see too often. I guess that's for his missile turrets, afraid of just mass Mutalisks, excuse me. And now centrifugal hooks is nearing completion for Rush, and he's building 2 hatcheries. Where are these hatcheries? Okay, we've got a couple of macro hatcheries here, and this expansion down here being built. And the Muta's unable to do very much harassment. However, if they came around into the back of Lynn's base, they might be able to take out these starports and whatnot. They did try that earlier. So it looks like these Mutalisks are going to be largely negated, but there is a greater spire on the way now for haCkUte. His hive has completed. He is seriously oversaturated at his main here by about 10 drones or so. And so you could maybe think about grabbing another base. But so far, it does not look like he is in any rush to do that. So for now, Zerg player is going to be chilling back here, and Ute is now producing at 17 corruptors. 17 corruptors. So there is going to be some serious Broodlord action coming in here, and there are 3. What do we have here? 4 Thors. So a few Marines here, and not much in the way of Vikings. We have 1 Viking here for Lynn. And some more Vikings being made now, and now ProTech has some extra factories here, and he is making more and more Thors. So does he have any upgrades for these Thors? He does not have any upgrades. He has the armories working on them now. And using these Hellions here to try and deny the map vision and taking of either of these expansions up front here. But now this expansion here for Rush, some extra spine crawlers being thrown down to protect from the Hellion run by. A little vulnerable to the Banshees, but I think the Terran players have given up on that, and now some Zerglings trying to grab this watchtower are going to run into some Blue Flame Hellions, but there are Mutalisks chasing them. So these Hellions will not last very long, as the Mutas are chasing them all over the place, and it looks like ProTech is going to go ahead and scan and just try and kill a couple of creep termers here. But he did not get the ones in the front. So the creep is now pretty far across the map, as ProTech has landed a command center over here, and is going to be building a planetary fortress and using a couple of Hellions to clean up the Zergling there, and immediately throwing down all of these missile turrets because he knows about all these Mutalisks. And now the Broodlords are going to start making that slow journey across the map. And there is going to be 8 of them for now, as well as pathogen glands finishing for NrTRuSH. So where are the infestors? Are there any going to be on the way out? Because he did just research that, but I don't see any in production. There's still just Banelings here. So Banelings, Zerglings, Mutas, Broodlords, and what about these Corruptors? There they are, to protect those Broodlords. So this is not looking good for the left team at all. And now we do have Lynn trying to grab this base over here and using his whole army here of basically all Marines and a couple of siege tanks, and they are going to be out of position to try and defend against this attack. And the one good thing is going for him is that these Banelings won't do as much without all these Marines here, but this army is going to be very vulnerable. The Terran players are split up right now. The Broodlords are raining down on the siege tanks and just slowly working their way forward. At the same time, Lynn is stimmed up. He has stimmed up his Marines and is working his way into the Zerg main. What are the Zerg players going to do about it? It looks like NrTRuSH is going to be pulling back with all the Banelings. Oh no, Lynn! The Banelings just steamrolling all the Marines. Oh no. Had a chance there maybe even to lift off some of those Marines, but unable to do so. At the same time, it looks like ProTech has forced back these Broodlords using those Thors to try and focus fire them down, and the Broodlords will not be able to get in here. But here comes the Banelings and the Zerglings getting this around. The Banelings coming in, going to be blowing up on the Thors, and it looks like they will be able to take out all the Thors, and all that remains back here is a few Marines and 1 tank. Another tank here desperately being repaired. Seeker missiles going off on the Corruptors, but it does not look like that is going to be enough damage to kill them off. But really, there's nothing for the Corruptors to shoot at here, and now a bunch of them are going to be morphing into Broodlords for a second assault. Meanwhile, Rush continuing to send up the Banelings and Zerglings to the front line. More and more Zerglings and Banelings are on the way. The Raven, a Seeker Missile is going to go off on the Banelings, are running away from the Seeker Missile. Just took out so many Banelings. That was awesome right there. Not something you see every day on this channel. A bunch of Seeker Missiles, and that was an epic one right there. It looked like Rush could have gotten away from that, possibly a misclick, turned him right back into the Seeker Missile, and that thing just took out so many Banelings. That was awesome. And it looks like, I'm not sure if I missed any sort of run-bys up here, but haCkUte has been able to grab this base on the top. Lin, meanwhile, has kept this base down here. So everybody's on 2 base here, it seems like, considering that their mains have been mined out for the most part, except for ProTech. And now Broodlords are coming all the way around the top side here and going to be going after ProTech's 3rd base here. And actually, ProTech does have a couple of Vikings, make it 4 Vikings now on the field, and these Broodlords are completely exposed. haCkUte made the mistake of morphing all of his Corruptors into Broodlords, and now they have no anti-air defense to speak of, and it does not look like they are even going to be able to take out this planetary fortress. Retro losing all of the Broodlords there. Some Zerglings going to be running by over here. They will be able to take out the siege tanks, but with this planetary fortress, oh, here come the Banelings going to blow up the planetary fortress. There is no way to repair it when the Banelings are coming in that quickly, and Lin is going to lose his 3rd base. At the same time, a Hellions run by up here at haCkUte's base, and even Vikings going to be landing and taking out the drones. Not reacting there is haCkUte to that harassment, but there are some Zerglings coming up there now. And will they be able to catch these units? Are the Vikings going to get up in time? It looks like ProTech maybe not noticing there, and only 1 Viking will be able to get up in time. But I still think the Zerg team is in a decent position here. There are 8 Ultralisks now on the way for NrTRuSH. He is researching that chitinous plating, but it still has a ways left to go. And so he's definitely going to want to wait until that research is finished before making his attack. And there are 5 Thors now on the field. And take note, ProTech has researched the 250mm strike cannon, which is extremely powerful against Ultras. It is one of the best counters to Ultras that you can get, because those Ultras with 500 hit points, that's how much damage these strike cannons do. 500 over 6 seconds, so it's one of the quickest ways to kill an Ultralisk, and the Ultras are going to be running up over in this direction, cleaning up a barracks there. And now it looks like we'll be pulling back, noticing that this army is slowly advancing across the map, and scans being used to pick off some of these creep tumors. Going to need another one to get these tumors that are already at the base here. At the same time, it looks like some more Vikings will be coming in to land at this base and deny this 3rd for haCkUte, so a great play there. And it looks like the right team is going to be content to just let that base go, as ProTech is actually going to lift off his Vikings and start flying home, because here comes the major push, and the Zerglings, Ultralisks, and Corruptors, and a couple of Broodlords are going to come swarming into this army. And here goes the strike cannons on the Ultralisks. You can see the energy being used up. The Ultralisks hit points draining so quickly, but there's so many of them, and so many Zerglings just swarming and eating them for breakfast. Bye-bye, Terran army. The Ultralisks are now broken through. They've broken through into the secondary here, taking out a couple of more Thors, more and more Marines getting eaten up. And now Zerglings are going to be streaming in here non-stop. Ultralisks are inside of Lin's main base, just ripping through these buildings. There are still a few Vikings, a couple of Thors, and a bunch of SCVs here for ProTech. It is desperation time, ladies and gentlemen. What can ProTech and Lin do at this point? It looks like Lin is going to leave the game. conceding this one. Meanwhile, ProTech is still fighting. He's got all of his SCVs on auto repair, trying to repair these Thors and keep them alive, and he is actually doing a decent job here of it. And going to be fighting now with these SCVs to take out the Zerglings. Vikings will be able to take out the Corruptors. And here comes a lot of Banelings going to be plowing right through all the SCVs and into the Thors. And this first Thor soaking up all of the Baneling damage. And now these SCVs here, it looks like a couple more Banelings were in there and blew up all over those SCVs. And now all that is left for ProTech is a few Thors, a couple of Vikings, a few Hellions here, a Raven even, and a couple of SCVs to repair. It looks like they're going to be sending up to deny this base yet again. And now the Zerg team, they are running pretty low on income here, as ProTech is going to be able to drop mules down at these bases. You can see 3 mules right now still going at this base. This base pretty much mined out. We had to use all those SCVs to defend, and now this hatchery being taken out. So what is going to happen now in this game? It looks like it may not be over after all. With the power of the mule, more and more Thors are being built. And now this command center lifting off. It looks like he is going to be lifting off command centers and setting them to the gold tier, and going to be dropping down mules at the gold mineral location, doing everything he can to stay in this game. Queens getting caught off the creep here are getting pretty vulnerable, but the power of this army is just so weak without the Thors up front. Looks like they will take out this spine crawler here. Even the SCV is being used to fight. And now NrTRuSH, he has a lot of Banelings, and it looks like he is going to be rolling them out and going to try and take out this army. Where is he going to go with these Banelings? The Vikings will scout them. The Vikings know what is up with the Banelings. And there still is a Raven here. It does not have enough for a Seeker missile yet, but it will have enough energy soon. And a couple of shots from a Queen, though, could snipe this Raven, as Rush is trying to get some more creep numbers down. Here comes the Banelings. They are going to be steamrolling their way into this ball of Thors. And quickly, there goes the Thors. There goes all the Hellions. And now all that's left is a few Vikings in the air and 1 Thor. And at the same time, the Queens are being brought up to fight. A couple of more Banelings here going to be trying to blow up some mules, it looks like, but only 1 Baneling makes it through. The Vikings have landed, and they are going to be pushing the Queens back there off the creep. There's a couple of Infestors here. Make it 6 Infestors. And uh-oh, man. It looks like the only thing... NrTRuSH, he has this base still going down at the bottom. If we check the income tab, ProTech is way ahead. He's got mules mining at both golds here. And he still is really kicking at this base. Uh-oh. Don't call it a comeback. As now the Infestors from NrTRuSH are going to be coming around the top here. They do not have Neural Parasite to deal with the Thors at all. The Infestors are going to be using all their energy here to throw down a bunch of infested Terrans in at the back of this gold mineral line, and the command center is just going to lift off and run away. Meanwhile, ProTech is going to bring his army around the side. The Hellions are roasting up all the Infestors. They used up all their energy on these infested Terrans that are doing nothing. Oh no, Rush. Oh no, Rush. Not the best decision right there, as those Infestors really ended up doing nothing at all. And now Rush, all he has left is a whole bunch of Banelings again, and going to be using those to try and blow up this army once again. Here comes the Banelings, going to be getting right into the meat of the Thors, and ProTech taking it like a champ. And the command center is actually going to get blown up, but he has another one floating right here, so he's just going to land that one. And now more and more Hellions coming out. 4 Hellions, 2 Vikings. Siege tanks are now on the way. And now it looks like the Zerg player haCkUte and NrTRuSH are the ones that are in trouble. Ute has been unable to reestablish a base. He has not even tried to get this base going again, and neither of them have tried for this base down here. And now ProTech has been muling at the gold, continuing his relentless mech push. Vikings and Hellions clearing out all the creep tumors. A few corruptors, not going to be enough to try and defend here. And here comes some more banelings. There are some infestors on the way, but Rush needs to wait until these infestors pop out. Where are they coming out from? They're coming out from his main base. Uh-oh. That is going to be too far away. Oh no, NrTRuSH. Oh no, where are the infestors? There are a couple of them back here. One fungal growth goes down. Another one is going to go down on the Vikings if he can get them. And no, the infestor gets blown up by a tank before it can get the fungal growth down. A bit of a misclick right there. If the fungal growth goes down on that army, the banelings would be able to get into them, but it looks like they were not going to be able to win anyway. And an epic comeback right there from ProTech. Very, very well played with the mass mech army. And yeah, that was a pretty awesome game. I did watch this one live on his stream, and I wanted the replay. And as it was going, I started to remember how it played out. Very, very exciting game there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And so you guys should definitely check out ProTech's stream. It is twitch.tv/ProTech. You should definitely check it out. I hang out there all the time and watch him play. And even last night, like I said, I played a bunch of games with him on the stream, so it was a lot of fun. And anyway, I will post that link in this description. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, ProTech, for sending me this replay. It was a pleasure to cast, and that's going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.